Hello everyone. Welcome to season 2 of Pepper Spotlight. Pepper Spotlight is a podcast where we shed light on different trends, topics and humans of content and creator economy. This time we are intent to make this more interactive, conversational and value driven. I am Yug from Team Pepper Content, one of your hosts for Pepper Spotlight. I hope you have a good time. Welcome to the first episode of Pepper Spotlight Season 2. Today, I'm with my colleague Yash, who handles social media for Pepper, and we thought about talking to a very interesting and intriguing topic that is right now going around in the content world, that is trends, or you also call it movement marketing. There are a lot of brands, creators, and many other companies who are jumping from one trend to another, sometimes good and sometimes maybe going out of the way. So we have a lot to talk about it and hope you have a good time listening to it. Let's start. Welcome Yash. I'm very happy that we decided to start this again and talk about one of the few things that we talk about every day. And it's different trends and what is happening on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, etc. So yeah, my first question would be, what was your first interaction with trends? On how do you perceive trends as a thing in as being a social media person?
So I remember this vaguely, but it was a very weird memory that I came back home after school in 11th grade and started scrolling Instagram post lunch, and I saw the internet was divided into two teams, Team Gold and Team Black. So the trend I'm talking about here is the dress.
Yes.
It's literally called the dress. You can actually Google it when you Google the dress. And it was then when I realized, okay, something really viral is happening. And those who are aware of the trend would know that brands were very quickly jumping on it. I remember Snickers posting a tweet that said, obsessing over a dress on the internet, you must be hungry, grab a Snickers. So back then I didn't even know that it is called a trend because I was just in school. But over the years when similar things happened is when I realized, okay, this was my first insight into what a trend or moment marketing moment is.
In terms of my perception, I do remember the dress trend because there was a lot of fuss about it. Not only about the brand, but there are many people on the internet who are trolling it in a good or bad way. But my relation to trend came very recently in a way when I started working, getting more on the social media part, is that because I watch a lot of sports and, follow a lot of athletes, be it Olympic, Asian Games or cricket or football, whenever someone made India proud, the brand were the first one to jump about it. And the people who don't follow trends, or, people who don't follow athletics as a sports or any kind of sports, they got to know about something happened in this sport via that trend. Like if you could see Hima Das won when she won in the athletics, when Neeraj Chopra won the gold medal or anything in the sports. Whenever it has happened, my Twitter either becomes a sports Twitter or a cricket Twitter, but there is no analytics, but that is more of a brand coming into it. And I guess Amul is also one of the company where they do the first thing, that whenever a trend comes, they have something on the one of the best people to do something around it. Yeah, as we have perceived about, like as I shared about this, people getting to know about something major happening in the trend via brands or something. I feel like I wanted to ask any brand that you like, that okay, they use the trend in the best way, or maybe to just discuss that why do brands use trends in a way. Right now people know, but when it was the first thing, when people must have recognized in maybe take it 2017, 2018 or even before that, before social boom. What do you think brands, according to you, why do brands use these trends or get on the trends? Any best case that you know of?
I think it's all about relevancy, and when something is trending, there are a lot of posts coming out on the internet, and the brands see that as a window that okay, they'll get some engagement out of it, or if not, they can just be witty and have a moment in it. So yeah, that's I think the best case scenario for brands. They can come out as some as a thought leader or someone who's witty or someone who's intelligent enough to create something quick out of the trend and leverage it for their good. And I think I remember a very small niche but a fun trend was when a random person on Twitter put out an image of a Good Day biscuit,
Yeah.
and wrote that this looks like the Spotify logo. And Good Day biscuit has been in the market since decades, but nobody noticed it until that day. And as soon as that person pointed it out, the internet was flooded, and it was actually a wholesome moment because both Britannia and Spotify acknowledged it, and Spotify even took one step ahead and made that biscuit as their Twitter profile image. So I mean, it's a win-win situation. A third person noticed it, and um, two brands leveraged it for their own good. So that's like marketing, organic marketing, without spending any bucks and getting good brand awareness in there on Twitter.
Yeah. Also, how I say this as Britannia and Spotify, remember that as the DP of like display picture of Spotify being Britannia. Also, Swiggy Zomato keeps doing something or other. Then there is Mercedes and BMW doing something around the McD and Burger King doing something around the other. But what I feel more than like the main reason that I have always got to know is that they are getting on the attention economy. Like if they are saying that people's attention is here, how can I snatch that on myself and have that organic approach towards mine by this trend. And sometimes even people have started doing the paid trend thing, like we would create a high budget thing on this trend if the trend is going for a long term in a way, right? So yeah, that's a good idea that I feel brands could have catered in past and will be catering in past as well. And yeah, let's move on to the next part. I feel talking more about in this, like we discussed the good side of it, but as it is said that every good thing has a bad downside to it, and anything that you overdo, excessive doing of anything in a way, goes to the down south part in a way.
Yeah.
And brands sometimes have went take that step that they shouldn't have taken, like that manager should have thought on the day that nahi post nahi karna hai, or that meeting could have been a message that shouldn't do anything, just sleep off. And something it could be about Mother's Day, something it could be Women's Day, something it could be about anything that happened in the global media that people take it that they shouldn't have. It may be creators, it may be brands, or it could be any human, any person on a higher power. So, what is your take on downside of the trend part or downside of the movement marketing part, and any example that you know of?
I think I'll take the most recent trends example in this. The very famous and infamous actually now, the chodi bachchi ho kya wala trend. So I mean, वो trend ऐसा था that was started by a creator, and sometimes I feel the trends that a creator starts should end with a creator only, and brands don't need to get involved in each and every trend. Because I remember seeing a post of a very prominent bank saying mutual funds में नहीं invest करते हो, छोटी बच्ची हो क्या? This is just unnecessarily adding that line. It has no meaning. I mean, they must have gotten good engagement because this thing was trending, and people in general tend to see, okay, this is trending and this brand also used it, like it. But I mean, what value did it add for the brand apart from few hundred likes? So there are various examples like this. If I believe if it's not always necessary for a brand to jump on the trend, there is always one small question that a brand should ask themselves, like, is it adding any sort of value apart from a few likes in the long-term game, in the long-term social media game? So yeah, that's my take on this. What do you think?
My thing is people overboarded with the Will Smith slap, and I thought वो सिर्फ ट्विटर तक ही है, like some comedians doing it. But then I went on Instagram, then I went on the Reddit pages, and then there were like memers were sharing how brands overboarded with the Will Smith thing. And I still, like, even if you ask me right now that पेपर के लिए Will Smith का meme बना, पहले तो मैं मना ही करूँगा. And secondly, I will have never no idea that someone taking a violent action on someone will have a उसको भी मैं time capitalize करूँ and then use it as a trend and get attention of people, because then that attention is also not any need of pepper, or even if I am a creator myself, not no needed to my personal brand or to anyone in a way, because that is just something shouldn't have happened, but people still used it as that let me just get the attention that I am not getting by using my smart brains. And about the Choti Bachcho trend or any movie trend, I feel it's the people in the production that are fueling it in a way, because we also saw the actor and the production of this getting onboarded to the trend with several other creators, and that's how I feel brands will be also feeling that okay, people might just use the hashtag somewhere and we might get on the explore page, and when they see my page, I want to look that अरे ये brand तो trendy है, but then it is just that 5 seconds of fame in a way, and it won't, according to me, it won't provide the long term value. So I like to end this segment in a way that if any brand person or a social media person or any creative person who's listening to this could understand that, like 3 points from your end that they for themselves or they're working for any brand should consider before jumping on any trend or creating anything for that trend specific. So anything that comes into your mind, any 3 point, 4 point, whatever comes into your mind.
I think the first point here would be to choose relevance over reach. Like, am I adding any value to my brand or to my audience if I jump on this trend or not? So that is something you should consider. And the second thing, before jumping on any trend, make sure that it feels natural if you do it and it's not a force fit. It shouldn't be like I'm trying to fit a square shaped tile into a round hole. No, that's not how it works. And in general, I feel with the evolution of content, going viral that we used to call it back in 2015, 2016 is not as lucrative as it was back then. Back then, it was very new. Okay, we posted something and it suddenly skyrocketed and getting a lot of mentions on the internet. But right now, it's more about, is it adding any value, since content is now a long-term game. People are focusing on creating quality content consistently so that year by year they have a good growth. And these days in general, like smart social media marketers are not banking on one post for their social media strategy. It's a long-term game. So, you might win some internet points by going viral in one post, but it's not going to help you anyway. So instead of putting all your mind resources on that one trend, focus on how you can grow without following any trends. What if trends didn't exist? How would you grow your social media then? I think focusing on that will keep your social media feed healthy as well as help you grow better.
On the points that you said about, marketeers or content creators creating content consistently to achieve that growth in future, that helps them compounding their growth in a way because it is consistent, plus they will get their own audience at some time. I feel that is a very relevant point here, because I would super agree on that point, because when you are in that journey and then suddenly your mind deviate कि नहीं मेरे को ये trend पे कूदना है, because that using that shortcut will help might also hinder in a bad way, that consistency might break even if you 2x it or even if you 3x it, because if you 2x it, like creating content, if you double it down, then you have to stay you have to stay at that speed for a longer time to have that reach part. And that does also not mean that any brand or any creator should just not jump on trend.
Yeah.
Because trends will be there, and why the point of virality is not that big lucrative right now is because people are now using the viral part in a different way, that they are paying a money upfront, or they are ensuring the that market will make that thing viral. So when things are when things are controlled, you can't judge what will work, what will not work. But still, if you find anything that is connecting to your point, their brand's vision or your audience's vision, and you find that this might be the relatable thing that might just connect to your existing customer. It is not only about that मेरे को नए और दो follower and reach और explore page पे अपना नाम चाहिए, but the existing followers also might feel the good. They might advocate you as a brand. Then you should go take that plunge of using that trend in the best way possible. But at the end of the day, it is all that if you are going, go all in, and if you are not going, just don't be in the FOMO even if the even if the trend goes in a million hits.
True.
But that way you could stay to the thing. So yeah, that was a great conversation on trends. Yes, I also gave my point I contributed my point to that. Moving on to our next segment that we will be continuing in every episode, that is providing everyone, like our viewers or listeners, information about what's up in the creator and content ecosystem. And this will be like a short segment where we talk about what are the updates in the startups of creator economy, the creators in the market, or anywhere, or anything in that spectrum, right? First thing I'll start with is, if you're listening to this and you're a writer, and you must be aware about an app called Substack. And what's happening in that app is what has happened with that company, that they have just launched their own iOS app for Substack readers, and also had their own internal podcasting thing that you can now not only read content on Substack, you can also now create your own podcast for your own audience, and you can listen to it on its own player via Substack. It is right now only available for iOS. Soon, like a person, I am from Android smartphone thing, so I'll be waiting for the Android update. But right as of now, if you're a writer, and if you don't know about Substack, the first thing you should do is Google Substack and got onboarded to it. It's a very, very, very smart platform for writers. You could build your own audience. You could read some smart things there. So yeah, that's the first thing. Yes, moving on to you.
So the update that I have for today is what Adam Mosseri, head of Instagram, shared a couple of days ago. So it's official now that Instagram is a video focused platform. It's no more just a photo sharing platform. So in the recent update, he shared that they are testing a full-fledged video feed, and images and videos both are gonna get taller now. So the aspect ratio that you guys see on story, that's gonna happen on the feed now. So taller videos, taller photos, they want a visual first, video first approach. So I guess that's an interesting challenge. Currently, the posts that we share on Pepper are mostly square.
Any brand, for any brand,
Yeah.
you can say that, yeah.
So it will be an interesting challenge to only post vertical tall images and videos. I guess with Reels, that video problem was already solved. But yeah, it's interesting to see how the tall photos feature is gonna pan out.
I mean, my take on that is, even if I as a person say I won't like it, Instagram is going to imbibe it, and then I'll be habituated to telling the designer, okay, nahi, change the dynamics or change the angles of it.
Subtle way to call Instagram and bully.
It is, in a way, every big guy is. Yeah, moving on to the third and last part in this segment is, I just read a Linktree's creator report where it said that this really gave me I can't say the setback, but a good attention to it, that out of the survey that they did with all many thousands of creators, 12% of full-time creators make greater than $50,000, and 46% of full-time creators make less than $1,000. And what it said was that the creators, when they have built their set amount of audience, they start monetizing their content, they start monetizing their entire game, and that's where the graph goes up. And the creators who keep waiting that I will monetize after getting to at X level, at Y level, are still in the loop of some months going good with the finances, some months not doing good, and hence their overall yearly payment gets around $1,000. That's around 76 or 77,000, which is quite less. So if any creators are listening to this, you should Google right now Linktree's creator report and get the insights out of it, because I'm pretty sure that will be something and value addition read that you will have on that day.
We'll put the link in the description.
For sure. So yeah, that's about it. We talked about trends. We talked about our relation with trends. We talked about good side of it, bad side of it, and things that if you are like a brand or social person that you could keep in mind while using trends. And then we also introduced to a segment of that we are updating you about what's happening in the creator and the content economy. So I hope you had a good time watching this. If you have anything that we could improve upon, do let us know. If you have anything that you liked about it, do let us know even in priority, because end of the day we are all improving, we are all helping you out, creating content to help you out, and having fun with in the process as well. So yeah, I hope you have a good time. Thank you so much.